pain of the truth? Don't you want to share your burden until you're asphyxiated blue? Don't you want to share a whip until you feel the pain of the truth? Don't you want to share the whip until you're asphyxiated too? Don't you want to feel the pain of the truth? Don't you want to feel your burden and feel the truth? Don't you want to wear the corset just like Mr. Mediterranean Blue? Don't you want to wear that corset till you're asphyxiated too? Don't you want to use the whip till you feel the pain of the truth? Don't you want to feel the whip until you're black and blue? Don't you want to share your burden? Burden, that's the truth. Don't you want to share your burden? And that's the proof. Don't you want to be wrapped up tight like Miss Mediterranean Blue? Don't you want to be wrapped up tight in that corset till you're asphyxiated too? Don't you want to be wrapped up tight and share the whip with the truth? Don't you want to be wrapped up tight and feel pain and bondage bruise? Burning out and burning in. Don't you want to feel the pain of the truth? Don't you want to feel the pain, the burden, try to share with you? Don't you want to be wrapped up tight like Miss Mediterranean Blue in the corset wrapped up tight and feel the pain of the truth? Don't you want to feel the whip and feel the pain within? Don't you want to know that you're deep within the sin? Share your burden with me. Don't you want to feel that burden with me? Don't you want to feel that burden, Don't you want to feel the whip and feel asphyxiation too? Don't you want to feel the whip and then feel the truth? Don't you want to feel the whip and be like asphyxiation blue? Don't you want to wear the corset till you're black and bruised? Until you're black and blue. Don't you want to feel the pain? Feel the pain of the truth? And don't you want to wear that tight dress like Mediterranean Blue? Don't you want to feel the whip and the pain of the truth? Don't you want that corset wrapped up so tight like Mr. Mediterranean Blue? Don't you want to know the sadomasochist truth? Don't you want to know the sadomasochist truth? Don't you want to be a dominatrix like Miss Mediterranean Blue? Don't you want to see the tear in her eye as she hits you with a whip? That's the proof. Don't you want to feel a whip? Don't you want to feel the truth? Don't you want to feel a dominatrix enter you? Don't you want to feel the whip? Don't you want to feel the truth? Don't you want to see Miss Mediterranean Blue this time enter you? She's so true, so truth, soul and truth, soul and truth.
This is Van Electric Ghost, and this is episode 82, Deep in the Dungeon, Share the Whip, Share the Truth. And we're diving deeper into our lead singer, Josephine Electric's sadomasochist, S&M goddess, dominatrix ways. And in this particular song, she is deep in her session dungeon with her whip in hand, looking for the truth in her sadomasochist session with her partner. And in this song, we have the Phantom also singing with her. And we continue the direction we were going with a song that this is actually based on. So the song this is based on is an actual sample through a Morphogene Make Noise module. We took the song the whip that made you bleed too wrecked up and ran it a little bit slower and not running the whole song, but putting it on a loop about a minute and a half of the original song and using that as the basis for this particular song. And on top of that, we did some modulation with the Arturia Main Brute 2S. We used our Moog Mother 32 and manually played some notes that were being affected by a Make Noise Maths utility module to create some effect. And on top of that, we also have a Roland System 1M being triggered by an Arturia BeatStep Pro. Manually on the pads, we're putting in some sound experiences that we are taking on what Hendrix called, sound painting, atmospherics that basically were represented in Electric Ladyland. When you listen to Electric Ladyland, he uses his guitar kind of like a synth, and then he creates, water. He creates sounds of birds, kind of alien sounding roars and sound ambient noise that is hallmarks of Hendrix's capability to take the guitar where most people hadn't taken it before. And he went into an area that synthesizers are kind of known for ahead of the synthesizer revolution, or around the time it was happening. And I think that was pretty incredible. And I've always been a frustrated guitar player, and the approach I take to what we do in Van Electric Ghost, I try to use my synthesizers to create multiple instruments, basses, pianos, orchestras, guitars, and then otherworldly sounds that I would say just come from analog synths like Moogs and Rolands. You try to create tones that you haven't heard before, or you try to take tones that you've heard before and use it in different ways, or take a motif of like the funk motif, or progressive rock motifs and express it, or punk rock. So a lot of what we do is kind of take a punk rock indie feel to our music and don't overproduce it to make it perfect sounding, because we've got this kind of college radio REM aesthetic. It really is based in like the Sex Pistols and the Clash and bands like Husker Du and the Replacements. So we like that kind of raw sound, and we think electronic music should kind of have that rawness to it. If you go back to Dirty Mind and Prince early funk, it's got a rawness, a sparseness, a demo quality to it that is inviting and interesting. And we try to do that. We've been trying to play with silences more. This particular song doesn't have, the kind of silences we have in other songs, but the punk aesthetic and industrial new wave era vibe is there. And, again, the sadomasochist imagery of Josephine Electric as a dominatrix princess queen. She is in charge, and she is looking for the truth, and her whip is going to find the truth. Kind of like a Wonder Woman idea, except he's being a little harsher than Wonder Woman. But some people would say Wonder Woman's kind of got this dominatrix idea, that the whip, the lasso she has is a dominatrix kind of tool. Her whole aesthetic was, in the original comics, thought of to be in that kind of role. And so, imagery in a lot of comic books from the Silver Age or even the Golden Age had women in kind of situations that appear to be sadomasochistic, and Josephine's just not playing the victim, not being the woman tied up in a chair or bound and gagged. She is the one that's, gonna bind and gag her partner. She's the one that's gonna be the alpha. The phantom's not the alpha, she's the alpha. And so her whip is gonna find the truth, again, like a Wonder Woman lasso, and she's gonna get to that through sadomasochistic actions in relationship. And it's like what we said in one of our other songs, pain is the universal truth, pain is what we do. And Josephine's finding the pleasure in the pain of these S&M sessions. We feel that we've been blessed with the ability to write and produce music the way we want and how we want. And we interview indie artists all over the world to talk to them about how they do it. We haven't been asking for any compensation, but however, we do have the ability now to take donations. And in exchange for that, for artists, we are providing beats at the $1, $4.99, and $9.99 levels. It's going to be explained on the description. So if you like what we're doing, and we have 2,400 people listening to us, so some people must like what we're doing. And if you're an artist and you want to share in the vibe of what we're doing, or integrate our sound into your sound, think about subscribing at the different levels. At the top level, we will do a teleconference with you on Skype to talk about what you want to do for the project. And the beats will be your beats for the level of subscription that you provide or you pay for. So that's what we're doing today. We're trying to get that going, and we thank all the listeners who've been listening to us. We would try to urge you to help us, support us with donations so that we can continue to do this and that we can interview indie artists from around the world on our other version of our show. We're actually in some conversations with some people to actually get a paid podcast set up, and some rumors that Miss Josephine is looking into that, and we'll get a little more into that in the future. We'll tell you about what's going on there and if we're successful with that. But Josephine is getting her own way like she usually does. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.